Another week, another dollar. Oh, hè? We hebben geen geluid. No sound, no sound.
Oh, hello. Yes, sorry. I was muted. Welcome back, everybody, for another video.
See.
Hey,
Great
Mike,
one.
Insta is glitching, man. Insta is glitching.
Okay, geen stress. A lot of positivity today. Bitcoin back at 90K. Bullish, of course.
93 to be exact.
93 already. That's how fast
0.7.
it goes. Altcoins looking great. Looks like a reversal. I'm positive. Nothing else I can add. But at the same time, I'm not surprised. I'm not happy. This is just what we've been saying all along. It shouldn't be a surprise. We've been talking about this for the last few streams. It's just going the way we predicted it to go. Tariffs seem to be lifted a little bit for China, assuming they will stay the same and that they will actually talk it out, which I think they will. Might not happen today, might not happen this week, but it's all looking bullish, and you can see what kind of effect it has on the markets this quick. So I'm just waiting it all out still. I still have my eyes at the end of July. If we go up sooner, that's good news for me. But I have no feelings. Simple.
Yeah, but what would signal for you that we're out the woods? Because yes, this is a nice reversal. There is some interest, and I did make a video about this last week, last Saturday, saying, guys, this is a pinnacle moment. And what would be the reversal for you? As in, okay, this is enough confirmation for us that we are going right up to 100K and up to new highs. What are we looking for, Mike?
Well, to be honest, I'm not that hard to convince, you know. So you have to imagine we came from a 74, 73 or something, right? 73K, something in this direction. It might be a little bit higher, like 75 or whatever, but neglectable anyway. We're already in the 90K zone, so we skipped pretty much the 70K zone. We went back up into the 80. Now we're at the 90. As far as I'm concerned, this is already a reversal for Bitcoin, and also the chart showed this quite nice. It's a clear reversal. We've already seen a higher low as well, so it's not just a thought, it's an actual reversal. The altcoins are now showing some power because they didn't quite reverse yet, but I've been looking at the charts today. A lot of coins did a 40+% on the altcoins. So this is looking great to me. I'm not saying that we're completely out of the woods. Why? Because this is all due to the tariffs being lifted from China, or at least giving them some more space to breathe and talk it out, which is the same subject we've been talking about for so many podcasts now. I mean, ever since the tariffs were introduced at the start of this month, Liberation Day, we've been saying the same, and we're talking about it before that. But right now, what you have to do is just look at. This is the first moment where I start buying again. So, of course, in the VIP, which is pretty cool, because I just let me show this real quick, if you don't mind, because people are always a little bit. Sorry, this is the wrong one. I have to show this one. Here we go. All right, so give me one moment. But over here, you can see the announcements I made in the VIP. and pretty much I shared on, I think, the 9th of April. If we were to, it is in Dutch, but still, if I were to snipe the bottom of the prices, so the lowest prices possible, I would buy today. So when we actually go to the charts, I should do it in Chrome actually because there I'm logged in, and we go check it out, and we take a look at Bitcoin, and we go to the 9th of April. That's actually there. So sniped the bottom. If I were to buy there, didn't do it because why not? Because I was looking at the total two as well. And I was waiting for a reversal. Right now, I can see that we are actually on our way to make a reversal. So if we break above this level, which we did, and we close today, then I will be looking for entries. So I might wait for a retest. Of course, they might go lower, but this is the point where I'm starting to look to purchase new crypto, and I haven't been buying ever since this dip right here. So all those months, which has been 2-3 months, I've been saving my fiat just to purchase new altcoins. So could we go lower? Of course, you always can go lower, but this is the moment where I start to activate and consider buying some new altcoins. You're muted again, man.
Yeah, fully agree with you on this. But it's a lot of conspiracies about people saying we might go lower the first weeks of May because sell in May and go away is what they say in the stock market.
Yeah.
Oh, how would this affect crypto, would you say?
There are many things that this is like a traditional finance thing to say, sell in May and go away. But there are many things happening in this period. So the first is that, assuming that the M2 liquidity chart, where everybody seems to get a hard on of right now, aligns with the 1st of May. So a lot of people are actually expecting it to follow the M2 liquidity. I'm not looking too hard at this chart. However, it is a fun chart, and it definitely gave some hope during the lower prices, right? Because it predicted that the prices would go up. But personally, what I said in VIP before today, because we might as well have seen another boring week or even prices lower than 80K or whatever, these are all things that can happen in the markets. But what I was looking at and predicted last Sunday, which was a very boring VIP live stream, but nonetheless, I did the prediction. Anything that happens between now and the upcoming 3 months is irrelevant. The bottom could be anywhere. Hopefully, we had it, and what we've seen this month is the bottom. But it doesn't really matter because the vision remains the same. We get the rate cuts. We most likely get quantitative easing. We get the executive order where America starts buying Bitcoin end of July. These are all things that matter much, much more to me. And it's not just the tariffs that got lifted. It's also the new head of the SEC, Paul Atkins, who has been pro regulations, pro crypto, has personal investments in many crypto related companies. So there are many things that are stimulating the price right now. And I remain hopeful and I remain bullish.
Yeah, most people are too short-sighted, yeah? They only think about, yes, we're going to go down, or no, we're going to go up. But it's a nice case that you just made that leave the TA, Bitcoin is beginning at something much bigger than we think it is. And of course, you can trade it, you can buy low, sell high, etc. But the long-term gains is, and I think that's the point you have to focus on, is the shift of wealth, right? It's going to be the biggest shift of wealth ever. And crypto is going to make them new trillionaires. So yes, you can trade, but, and I see hopium in the chat, but guys, this isn't hopium anymore. This is like fundamentally, there's so much change for Bitcoin, the adoption, and how do you call it? The not the buying of, but when they start putting it on their balance sheets, the pension funds, etc. They haven't started buying yet. So as a matter of fact, in July, when all things are done, all the regulator frameworks are in, everybody's gonna buy, and that's when the spree is gonna start. And the question is, how positioned are you for this? Because most people, the narrative, they don't think that you're gonna go higher, And yeah, I saw the Japan video. In Japan, in the East, they're a little bit pro bullish, more bullish than I would say the Western folks. But yeah, for us, it's obvious. Bitcoin is gonna go way, way, way higher. You have a first time pro U.S. government for pro Bitcoin. The SEC is gonna be pro Bitcoin. It's gonna get crazy, man. My point is the super cycle still in play. Super cycle is still in play, guys. And I'm wondering how high we're gonna go.
Yeah, people really underestimate this, and this is something that is relevant to what you were saying. So the Bitcoin mined this year, so the last 4 months, is 16,000. But the Bitcoin bought by ETFs in this year are 56,000. So I'm still seeing the same trend, and this is the same chart I frequently show to you guys. It's not a new chart or anything, because I always look at the supply and on the exchanges, but this is pretty much what is happening behind the screens. The institutional investors are buying so much Bitcoin already, and this will continue to be more, like you're
Be the
saying.
case, yeah. It's not gonna
Yeah,
stop, right? Right.
more companies will buy, but
Yeah.
especially the the race between countries is something that people really don't have an idea. People really don't have an idea, because let's say the Bitcoin Act comes true, yeah, and they want to buy 1 million Bitcoin. So not $1 million, but 1 million pieces. There's just 2 million left already. So this is saying that one country wants to buy half of what is available in the next 5 years. If another country, and another country will, because I also learned on this event, which is in the video, that Saudi Arabia is also purchasing for 500 million, or they
Yep.
purchased already through the ETFs. So this is something that doesn't go away. And I know we are repetitive. I actually saw a comment, someone saying that these live streams are getting boring, but first of all, you're a faggot, and second of all, it is the same thing. It is still the same rhythm. You have to realize that we are one of the very few influencers out there that actually keep their vision the same for many, many months. And I see so many people flip-flopping between bullish, bearish. We have been looking at the same data points. It is all playing out. And of course, we have seen, like everyone else, major drops in certain altcoins, but it is what it is. Honestly, if you are not convinced now, nothing will convince you.
Yeah.
That's what I keep saying. Pussy ass bitches expose themselves, weak men expose themselves. And now that the crypto markets are slightly going up, it is just a sign that you have to remain patient.
Patience is the name of the game.
Mhm. All right, Gigi is saying, look, so what is happening? Yeah, the prices are low right now. Nothing you can do about it. It is a shame, but I will purchase more once I see a reversal. We see some pumps now and then, but prices are looking pretty stable around the $1 mark, like the 90 cents. But I will not be purchasing that. I will be purchasing the altcoins that show a reversal, and many are showing a reversal, especially after today. Lots of crypto have a pump of 40%. So now comes the question: which altcoin do you want to buy? And if you buy now, what is the potential loss that you're making? Will you wait for a retest? There are many things to consider. So that's something you should do. And Nick Wouters is saying, do you like Baudet? But I think you didn't see our podcast with him twice. We've had him on the show twice, so I really recommend you watching those. Just search for Bitcoining Thierry Baudet and you should see it.
It's not about liking, guys. In my opinion, because we live in a free country, Thierry
Mhm,
Baudet is a necessity for getting us back on the right track. That's
mhm,
just I want to throw it out there. As long as Thierry Baudet is done, where I live in, I'm in the Netherlands at the moment.
mhm.
It's pack our bags. It's time to go, man. And yes, they portray him as a clown, as a fool who doesn't know what he's talking about. But do look at the videos. I see a lot of videos
Oh,
on TikTok, on X, 10 years
mhm.
ago, 12 years ago. He was saying things and he was getting laughed at. Never gonna happen. People shouted. He was getting criticized. But if you look back
Pretty much
now,
all happened.
yeah, it's like, what the, how could this happen? And this gives you a clear, yeah, how do you call it? Uh, yeah, a clear image of who knows what's happening, who doesn't know what's happening. Or if I can say it something else, you can see who's in whose pockets and who's in not in somebody's pockets. And clearly see the narrative, guys. Clearly see the narrative.
Yep. And also something that was very funny to me is the following. So give me 1 second. I'll share the screen real quick. So right here we have the video of, Alex Jones actually exposing Mark Rutte, our Dutch prime minister, or now actually the leader of the NATO, pretty much exposing him. And here you also have, it is not Thierry Baudet, but it is of course someone from Forum for Democracy. So it is from his political party, and he basically exposes his lies all over again. And these are very concerning things because he doesn't, there's also, the why I mention this is because there's also a new head of the WEF right now, which is the guy of Nestle.
The ex-CEO of Nestle, yeah.
I want to show you. So what are the worst things Nestle as a company have done? They pretty much did the worst things you can imagine. It's it is such a shame. So pretty much what they did, they
but
went to Africa or something.
wait, Mike, hold up. Is this the things they did? Did it happen under the ex-CEO, or what's the correlation?
Pretty much what the point I want to make is that the Nestle company as a whole, so if you are the chief executive officer of this company, you are evil, and it doesn't surprise me. He looks evil. He is evil. The company is evil. This is like, people always talk about Illuminati and these kind of things, but what is actually happening is terrible corporate companies like Nestle that pretty much interfere worldwide by either, they do so many things. I just
let's show. Let's see the list.
Real quick, because sorry, so I think it's this one. Okay, kind of fucking it up right now. Okay, so they pretty much went to Africa or something, made mothers rely on the baby formula. So that they couldn't produce their own milk anymore, up to the point where they couldn't afford it. They pretty much made Africa addicted to their baby formula just to sell more. They pretty much had a smear campaign, or not a smear campaign, but a campaign where they pretty much indoctrinated the Africans to believe that that their formula was better than their actual breastfeeding. Broke so many laws, child labor and slavery, and of all these things, it isn't a conspiracy. These are actually well documented things that happened in the past. Unethical water extradition practices, but they also pretty much just interfere with politics and these kind of things. It's a pretty big list for a company to just have at all. So. Just do this search for yourself, read it through if you really want to know more about this specific subject. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but my point is Nestle, the company, is evil, very, very evil. So having the ex-CEO of Nestle being the new director of the WEF isn't a improvement at all. So I think everybody will probably look back at Klaus Schwab and hope that he will return, just to paint a picture.
It's to be honest, the whole WHO, WEF, they all have to be dismantled, man, because the NATO and all these things, they say that they are for the people, but they're doing the exact opposite. This is well known, shizzles.
Yep. Great question. Now that Clown Schwab is gone, the WEF has a new, even more ugly leader. How much of an influence do you guys think they have from a financial perspective? Well, this is something, what the danger is of these parties, of these forums? These forums have influence and impact on many more things than just finance. And I think that they actually, they try to divert the direction of the world, the direction of countries, the direction of power, but also the direction of finance into a specific direction that's not good for certain countries, like the United States, like Europe. This is also the reason why we are seeing a digital euro or a central banking digital currency being rolled out in Europe in October of this year. And just like many things, and we've spoke about this a lot of times also, but just like many things, they will bring it to you as being more convenient, being more easy to get a tax return or to actually do your taxes. But in the end, it will cost you. So I'm not too worried about the influence they have on a financial perspective, because Bitcoin is the answer. Bitcoin is your way to freedom, and Bitcoin is the asset that allows you to thrive and prosper even among these parties, among these forums. So if you are protected by Bitcoin, and I know it sounds a bit wavy, but it is actually true. And the longer you research Bitcoin, the longer you hold Bitcoin, and the longer you are committed to Bitcoin, you will start to talk like this as well. Bitcoin is much more than financial freedom. It is actually a protective layer against evil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very deep, Mike. But see it as a
but
tool
it's true
against.
though.
Yeah, but let's it's just a tool against government spending and government. How do you call it? Government enforcement, right? Because the government can't stop it. And of course, you
Mhm.
can see it as an answer. I'm not gonna praise Bitcoin, but in a world where you're dependent on your financial situation, etc., Bitcoin is the answer. Yes, DeFi for the
But
win into that.
so my thing is, guys, I'm much more worried about other things they have an effect on. So, to give you an example, Bitcoin protects you from the financial perspective, right? But what will you do with the food they are manipulating? What will you do
Exactly.
with the regulations they are imposing? What will you do? Privacy,
This Mike,
which I
Mike,
see in
share
chat.
this image, because I think this is a nice representation of what these organizations want to, how they
It is
want
a
to
bit.
penetrate, every sector, every. I think it's correct, right? Or no?
Oh shit! Wait one moment. Yes, but it is a bit.
Yeah, it's small. I see. Yeah.
The resolution sucks, but give me one
And
second. Perhaps we can find the higher resolution of this one. Anyway, I've seen it before, so there are many things that.
yeah, I'm looking for a good article about this. Yeah, I think just let's just take this article. Just scroll down a little bit.
Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. So here you can see all the things they want to have a impact on, and among many industries, there are many factors that they pretty much think about, talk about. So you see here climate change, environment, geopolitics, social media, and that's just of the United States, for example. Right now we're looking at real estate. So um, point is, the financial aspect is just one part, and the financial aspect is the only thing I know how to protect myself from, because I left the Netherlands with a reason. I left the Netherlands because I don't know how to protect myself from all other things. Do you know what I mean? So um, I'm not too worried, but I think they have an effect on everything, even financial, of course. But you can reject it. So reject CBDCs, reject digital euros, buy Bitcoin. Altcoins are there if you want to make more money, but Bitcoin is the answer always.
Always will and always will be.
Mhm. Ian, do you still have the time,
Yeah,
or do you want to go?
I got a few more minutes. But if it's
Okay, okay.
interesting topics, we can talk about some nice things. But let's say privacy. I think it's a nice topic. Let's talk about privacy,
Mhm.
because to be honest, I don't think privacy is gonna be that much of a factor. I think in this new digital world, because there's gonna be so much control. In my honest opinion, I think they're just gonna abandon all the privacy protocols, because
Yes, they
if there
are
is
already are.
Yeah, if there was a regulatory framework, you can just say,
Mhm.
guys, these are the rules. If your project or protocol doesn't follow these rules, which is, let's say, you cannot identify what the wallet is, where it's coming from, etc., then it's gonna be disbanded. But this is just a loud think out loud. But the number one protocol is gonna be Verge. I read something, it's about ISO 222 certified, also Verge with the RAID protocol. I
Mhm.
don't know how real this is and how far this is going to go. And with that, I mean adaptation and implementation. But if anything, I think virtual going to be the number one privacy. But privacy is very, 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 yeah, you don't know. You don't know
You
what's going to
know,
happen in privacy.
you know what's kind of interesting to me because I've been warning for privacy protocols for a long time. So may it be Monero, may it be whatever. There's so many also other privacy projects. So let's say layer ones that are very focused on privacy. Which what they make their unique selling point. I've been kind of skeptic about them because of the trend I was seeing. But what was very interesting to me was that Trump they canceled the lawsuit against the Tornado Cash developer, and he actually released him. And what I'm also seeing is that Trump, in his executive order, um, he actually forbid the use and creation of CBDCs. So he's actively fighting against the central banks, it seems. So this is very interesting to me. So I wouldn't say that privacy is dead. I did see a very strong trend, but either way, I would be very careful with these things because they're so uncertain. Of
Mm.
course, I'm pro privacy. I'm a privacy advocate. Don't get me wrong, but I'm also a realist in some regards, and I know how strong these influencers and governments and shadow agencies can be. So make sure to yeah, stay safe.
Yeah, vooral privacy. The
Mhm.
dominance. What is the dominance doing, Mike? What is the dominance? I saw a question
It,
about the dominance.
it is going up. So the dominance of Bitcoin is going up, which is a good thing because we're seeing the altcoins slightly increasing. We're seeing the Bitcoin price increasing. So Bitcoin is going faster than the altcoins are. Otherwise, you wouldn't see a increase in dominance. We are way above the 63%, which means that we are well en route for 70% dominance, which makes a lot of sense in my mind. I've been talking about this in private with you, Ian, when I was back in the Netherlands, that I was considering selling all altcoins and going full Bitcoin. And this seems to be the Bitcoin run. I haven't done it. Of course, we had many in-depth talks about this, and of course, I'm holding the altcoins because they will give a better return, which allows me to buy more Bitcoin. So it's not that I'm canceling or changing strategy, but it is something I considered. And I think that you will continue to see this trend for Bitcoin quite some time. And it would make perfect sense for me to see a dominance of about 70% quarter three, quarter four this year. And from there, we can either have the biggest alt season
Hmm.
ever, the biggest super cycle ever, or Bitcoin will already be not available anymore. The supply will run out, and we will see a super boom of Bitcoin. It's one or the other. But I think that with the heavy increase of Bitcoin, we will most definitely see altcoin surge as well, just like we're seeing right now.
Facts. Facts.
What do you think?
I have to agree, but the only issue is the time factor, right? Because we're calling dates like Q3, Q4, and if it doesn't happen, then you're gonna hear the people, yeah, you said this and you say that, guys. You must understand, we say times, or we identify it as a certain date of time to make it more tangible, right?
Hmm.
Because of course it's gonna happen. If you think that Bitcoin is not gonna go to 1 million, then I'm sorry. Most people think it's gonna take
But
5 years. We think it's gonna take much quicker. It's gonna go much
mhm,
faster than that.
it will.
So
It will.
that's the only difference, the time. So if you
It,
take out the time, my friend, the game is very simple. So I have to agree. In my opinion, we should have been there already. But I said a long time ago, dominance has to go back all the way to 70%. for it to make sense, because a lot of the mistakes that happened in 2021, 2022, the manipulation of FTX and all the OTCs and etc. fees, has to be put in straight, right? So we have to see how it plays out. But first, so far so good, still on track, and yes, the big super cycle should be on the way.
But I do want to add that so far we have been pretty accurate about the dates.
True.
All the way since the start of 2023, we've been predicting most of the moves very accurately. And also right now, when a lot of people are panicking about the tariffs, of course, we're now seeing a slight increase in price, of course, but so many people were calling for the end of Bitcoin, the end of the cycle, lower prices, blah blah blah. I've heard the crazy stories, and we, amongst all PABs, remained cool, remained calm. And right now, I've said so many times, my vision is at the end of July, if we go up sooner, I'll be happy, you know. And I continue to think this way. So even though time is the only factor that can change, you're absolutely right about this. We can be wrong about when it happens, but I do think that even then, you can pretty much see when things are going to happen because a lot of things are lining up. And it's not like we've seen any bearish crypto news for the last, like, almost half a year, you know? I think for the last 6 months, everything surrounding crypto has been nothing more than bullish. So there's no reason for me to divert my thoughts or think differently about what's about to happen. And of course, we will see much higher prices. And you know what's funny to me?
Mhm.
When I go to these events or whatever, when we interview people on the streets back in the day, I always ask for the price predictions, right? So what do you think that Bitcoin price will be? And they also always, everyone is just repeating each other, you know. Oh, I think 200K, maybe double. 150K. Something I already noticed is that the targets have been going up slightly. Before we seen 109K, I heard so many people call for a 120 top and 150. And now, when I go to the event in Tokyo, people are saying 200K. So there's already an increase because time passed, you know, which is a very fun thing. People need to see it happen before they believe. And now, what we are seeing is that when I ask them why they think this, they all answer the same. Oh, it's just something I think. Oh, it's good to stay cautious. Oh, I just be happy if the price goes there. No one is talking about the fundamentals. No one is talking about the true value of Bitcoin. Everyone is repeating each other. If they actually knew what they were talking about, and this is no hate to anyone because I have love for everyone I spoke to, everyone in the scene, everyone, you know, it's all love, but no one is considering the factors we talk about so many times and so often. That's why we keep repeating them. That's why we keep iterating them, because people simply don't know. They are frightened, they are cautious, they are scared. And if you look at the data, truly look at the data, truly look at the news every single day, monitor closely what Trump is doing, because that's also the reason why I asked these questions. What do you think about Trump? What is your understanding? And I noticed that usually they either don't have an opinion, they are slightly against it, or they are for it because he's pro America. But no one is in the trenches. No one is getting the facts straight. No one is getting the details right. And you can call us a conspiracy theorist, whatever, a Trump lover, I don't care, whatever you call us. But every single thing we've spoken about, we've always been right. The only things that might not happen is that some altcoins got lower in value, like a Luxo or whatever, but just give it time, you know? And that's the funny thing about time. If you give it enough time, we will be right, like always.
Reap your rewards, they say. Very
Mhm.
nice said, man, Mike. I fully agree with you. Most people they underestimate the data, check out the data, make clear decisions, and follow the right people. I gotta go, guys. It's been nice. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you
Stay
so much,
safe,
Ian.
of
Love.
course, and we'll see
Good
you
to see
guys
you
next
again.
time. So
Peace.
later.
All right. I'm also just logging off. Why? Because very simple. I considered looking at some of the charts and these things, but I will keep it VIP only. And I'm not posting that much on Instagram. I'm not posting that much on YouTube. I'm not posting that much anywhere. But my heart is at the VIP. So come check us out there. Otherwise, I wish you a pleasant day. And if you are a VIP member, I might throw a stream tomorrow, because I think that's one of the perfect days to consider a lot of things. So thank you very much for watching. Love, and I'll see you.
If I do crypto, this ain't gambling.